I decided to try a little different recipe for a pot roast. So the first thing is the meat seasoning, which is 2 teaspoons of brown sugar, 1 teaspoon each of salt, garlic powder, onion powder, chili powder, and paprika, and a half teaspoon of black pepper. Just kind of mix that together, pat your meat dry, and then add the meat seasoning to both sides of the roast. I am using a chuck roast, and once you have the seasoning on both sides of the roast, you're going to add 2 tablespoons of flour to that, and then you're going to sear on each side approximately 2 to 3 minutes on each side or until a brown crust has developed. Then you're going to remove it from the heat, set that aside, and in the same pan that you cooked the meat, you're going to make the gravy. First, the gravy ingredients are going to be 1 cup chicken broth, 2 cups beef broth, 1 bouillon cube, 1.5 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, and 1 teaspoon of soy sauce. Add just a little of the gravy to the skillet that you use to sear the roast and use a spatula to kind of clean the bottom and the sides of the skillet. And this just gives the gravy a little bit more flavor. Then transfer all the gravy, both parts from the pan and from the bowl, into your crock pot. And also add the meat back to the crock pot. And if you have any juices on the pan that you set the meat in, also add that. Then cut up some potatoes, and you can cut them to whatever size you really like. Add them to the sides of the meat and then carrots on top. I just used baby carrots. That's what I had. I wanted to use them up, but you could use fresh carrots and cut them into thirds. This is going to cook on high for 5 or 6 hours or low for 8 to 10 hours. Once the time is up, you're going to remove all the meat and vegetables from the crock pot onto another pan. After I remove these, I just put them on a cookie sheet, covered them up, and put them in the oven to warm while I cooked the gravy. All the gravy or juice that is in your crock pot, you're going to pour that into a saucepan. Then in a separate container, you're going to whisk up 3 tablespoons of cornstarch and 3 tablespoons of cold water. Once you have that whisked up, pour that slowly into your saucepan and whisk continuously as you're incorporating that into the gravy. Right before serving, you can add in 1 tablespoon of cold butter to the gravy. I also seasoned the carrots and potatoes with salt and pepper. And here is the final result. This was definitely a different take than my normal pot roast, but it was very good.